Well, TikTok on the clock. Welcome everyone to our webinar. Today we have Chris Davis. He was on the New York 30 Under 30. He is a co-founder of his own agency, Revocato, and he runs his own podcast, not to mention that he's a Camino member. My name is Denon. I am a Camino team member, and I'm here today at the Camino headquarters here in Calgary, Alberta. I'm going to pass on the show to Chris now, and he's going to tell you how you can use TikTok, not just for dancing, but for creating leads and running a business from it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, everyone, at the Camino. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think a lot of people kind of think of TikTok as just people dancing around and having a good time, but you can actually use it, like myself and a lot of other creators on there, to actually have an impact and teach people things and kind of drive some traffic to your funnels or whatever else you want to drive them to. So before we get started, I was curious, in the polls tab, I'm going to drop a poll in there, and I just want to know how many of you guys are actively on TikTok right now. So I'll give you like a minute or two just to drop in a yes or no, just to see where the audience is at. Okay, I got a no in there. Okay, I think that was everyone. It seems like most of you are not on TikTok, so that's good. Cool. So hopefully a lot of people can learn something today. I didn't want to go too much into the basics of TikTok because it's not too much to grasp from the jump. But I'm going to go into things like how to, how to create like your profile, make it look good, like headers and things like that. Get a TikTok Pro account, which is something a lot of people don't know about, and it can be a huge help, because that's how you look at analytics and things like that. So, and then how to understand and where your analytics are located on TikTok, like in your profile, how to create a decent post, like what a good post looks like. I'm going to go off of ones that I've done and kind of like what I've done in those posts that kind of made them do well, in my opinion, and what was passed to me that really helped. And then how to, what we all probably want to know, how to get traffic from TikTok onto other networks can be a little tricky because you don't get, not like Instagram where you have a link. You can't get a link until about 1,000 followers on TikTok, but there are other ways that I think you can kind of drive traffic elsewhere. So let's get started. I kind of just have these to keep me on track, but hopefully you guys can follow along too with the slides. So creating an eye-catching profile. Now, a lot of social media networks are essentially not the same, but they all have their own profile, different aspects to them. So on TikTok, you have pretty much the 3 lines. Here's an example of mine. So a few things that works, and I know this is like same thing for Instagram, is kind of use emojis. People, drive to emojis, they attract people. So I always try to drop emojis. I run a couple of pages. I have one for my agency too, and I kind of did the same deal where I have like emojis in the beginning of each of the bullet points instead of using a bullet point. Kind of explain what you do. So just give like a background, like why should someone follow this page if they popped onto it. So like mine says daily tips, CEO of value driven content. It's like a catchy thing on TikTok now. And then a call to action. If you can't have a call to action, you could just tell people to go to your Instagram, because you can link your Instagram and your YouTube channel to your account. So call to action is always good to end it with. And then, you just want to make sure that people, like, give them a reason of why they should like follow your page or, follow your journey on TikTok. And so now TikTok Pro. Everyone has like a normal account. I'm going to say TikTok Pro is the equivalent to an Instagram business account. So when you have a TikTok Pro account, you have access to analytics and you can see all the stats on your different posts. Without it, there's really hard tracking like anything, honestly, like how your posts are doing, what content works on the platform overall. So it can be a little difficult trying to grow without having access to this. So, and it's perfectly free. I remember when I first tried to get a TikTok Pro account, like it shows up on your settings and it'll say like get a pro account, and you think it like costs something, but when you click it, it goes into how it's free and you sign up for it. So you pretty much just swap your account over to pro. I couldn't really show how to do that because once you're in a pro account, you can't really, like, your settings look different, but it is in the settings. So if you have a TikTok account and you go into your settings and just scroll down, I think it's in red, like highlighted, and it'll say get a pro account. So all you do is just look out for the pro account, click it, and then yeah, you'll be able to turn it into a pro. I think all you have to do is add like a business email or something like that, and you're good to go. Then you have a business account on there. Um, and then once you have that, you have access to tons of analytics, and it can be a little overwhelming, and because it's a little different than Instagram, because everything is watch time, everything is based off of video stats. And it kind of goes differently with analyzing followers and their behavior and the platform in a whole. So um, it can be a little confusing. So I wanted to go into like certain like pages and tabs you can look out for and which ones are like the most important and how to like kind of what you can do going forward with the information that it gives you. So these are like the first two pages in there. The two tabs are overview and content. In overview, it'll show you video views, as you can see, followers and your profile views. So like you want your followers to be slow and steady going up. And video views, those can go up and down. They will fluctuate because TikTok, it works off of an algorithm where it might take weeks for a post to blow up, but once it blows up, it'll blow up and keep going. So I think it's good to see what videos are starting to gain traction. And you can go back as far as like, you can look at 7 days or you can look at a full 28-day month review. And then it shows how many followers you're getting over time and how many profile views, which is like on Instagram, it'll be like profile visits. So that's how you can see like, potential traffic you can drive off of TikTok and into like Instagram or wherever you have your funnel set up. So I think the basic overview is pretty good, but I think it really gets good when you get into content. So I am not doing very well right now. I haven't posted for a little while, so I need to get back on that. That's why I said 0 posts. But if I did post something like within the last week, you would see my latest post there, and it would have specific stats to that post and like whatever the best one was recently. Trending videos is one of my probably go-to tabs on here or sections because it can show you like which ones are doing well over time. So when you see something trending, it means that it's showing up on people's For You page, which is where, TikTok kind of uses the algorithm to show it to everyone. So people are, your video's trending and you can see you'll see the little arrow in there and you can see all your videos that are trending. And, so it could be an old video. Like one of these videos I did so long ago, but it's still trending because that's, TikTok works differently than Instagram. Like videos don't really have a life cycle. It's kind of, it can blow up whenever. And that's why I always try to tell people post every day because you never know, if you see a post that's not doing well, don't think it's not going to do good ever because it could take a couple weeks, but it could blow up and eventually go viral. So yeah, I would essentially say if a video comes up in trending, it's going viral. I'm not sure what your definition of viral is, but it's on the up and up. So definitely pay attention to those videos and do more of what you see there. If you see one of your videos is trending, do something that's just like it. And then if you go over to followers, you can kind of see, what gender of, person is looking at your profile, your total amount of followers and like the gain of followers within the last week or whatever the time frame is, and the territories. So this is good for, just general knowing your audience and trying to come up with content based on them. So if you see that, you're mostly United States, maybe you could focus on talking about things that are within the United States or having to do with the United States, things like that. Just general stuff, kind of like Instagram has as well. And then you can go into your followers. And I think this is the second most important because this tells you the best time to post. That number, 8 p.m., that's my best time to post. You can go day by day and it'll kind of fluctuate. But once you start posting consistently, if you choose a time and keep doing it, if you're doing it right, you should see that time pretty consistent across all of it because that means your followers are looking at all of your posts. So if you post at 8 p.m. all the time, when you go through that, it should say 8 p.m. and that just means your followers are seeing all your content. But if you're just starting out and it's like a whole bunch of different times, try to come up with like a time frame. Like I think mine used to always be between 8 and like 11 p.m. for whatever reason. It was super late. But yeah, so it'll show you whatever time is best and you can go through different days and you'll see how many followers are active at that exact time. And underneath that, you'll see videos your followers watched. Those are cool just to get ideas. You can either scroll a lot on the FYP page or you can go here and see like what your followers like and try to, not like take content, but do something similar, add your own spin to it. That's what a lot of people do with the challenges and stuff like that. Like I'll see a lot of challenges that someone does and they might be dancing or something like that, but then somebody takes it and adds like a business like twist on it and teaches something using the same song or the same type of deal. So I think that's a good section for that, like coming up with content ideas. And then sounds your followers are listening to is pretty good because you can see what songs are trending. If you use a trending song, it has more of a chance of getting viral than one without a song. So adding music and taking advantage of the music that's on the platform is a huge part of it. That's kind of like what they're founded on. And just creating powerful posts. This is what you're going to need to do, I would say, every day. It took me about, say, like 2 or 3 months of posting every single day, like nonstop, before I actually started getting like any traction. But once the traction comes in, it does not stop. Like I said, I need to get back to posting, but I still have been gaining followers every day without posting. But I think that if you keep posting every day, you just have a better chance of going viral. Let's see. Rebecca says, besides jumping on trends, what are some content ideas that are good for businesses? It depends on your business. They're like, I do how-tos. I think DIY and how-tos are great. And for businesses, if like whatever your niche is, just like explaining 5 tips to do this and just make it quick and snappy. Which brings me into like my next point. Some of the things that people told me to do with my account that like instantly worked. I was not doing when I started out, I was just doing videos kind of like just talking to the camera. I was still kind of camera shy too, so that's one thing you'll start to get out of if you post every day. Just kind of not being nervous on camera and just being more comfortable. So I was posting every day, high energy. So I was just coming out just very like hyper off the jump, just because you have to grab their attention, separate yourself from all the other stuff they're watching. So grab their attention from the jump, high energy, get right to the point. If you're, I start all my stuff with the exact title of what it is, 5 ways to make more money in 2020 or something like that. And I was get right into it. So get right to the point. Don't waste any time, and then start getting to points. And that's where using floating text comes in. That's the one thing about TikTok is great because they have so many different like video editing features. You can't do this stuff in Instagram where you can actually edit your video if you like film it directly into the platform. Like it has some, but it's very basic. But TikTok has some really good editing features like filters and stuff like that. The only ones I really use are the floating text, where you can just put a text box and you can put like a duration of time. So you can have it disappear, pop up, have another one disappear, pop up, and I'll do that as I talk. And it takes me, I do 15-second videos. I might invest a minute or two into making a video, and then it gets tens of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views. So I think it's like super worth the input. So floating text is great. Always reinforce what you're saying with actual text so people can follow along. And then a call to action at the end. At the end of mine, I always say like and follow for more tips, and then I have it pop up on the screen. So just tell people like what you want them to do. If it like leave a comment, if I'm naming things, say, hey, do you know any more? Or something like that. Just to try to start a conversation and get some comments on there. But yeah, and if you can see here, like playtime is a huge thing with the TikTok algorithm. So you'll see this one had like 3,012 hours of playtime. So it goes off of total playtime. So if someone watches your whole video, and that's why I like 15-second videos, because they'll most likely watch the whole thing, and then rewatches. So once the rewatches start coming in, that's when TikTok starts to like the video because people are clearly watching it over and over again. So you'll see the For You is what you want to really be. Personal profile is good, but For You means that TikTok has been putting it out there on people's For You pages. And average watch time should be about as long as the video. I think this one was like 14 seconds. So 12 seconds is pretty good. So you have more analytics directly into each of the videos too. So you can see which ones work really good and which ones are like kind of driving your page. And then finally to drive traffic into your funnel. So like I said, it's kind of hard doing it if you don't have, like, you have to have 1,000 followers to get an actual link like on your page. So it took me a little bit to get there, but even without it, you can link an Instagram. So I would say try to use other social platforms and just have them ready for TikTok traffic. Like right now, my main goal has been getting TikTok traffic to my YouTube channel. So that's why I put subscribe to my YouTube, my call to action, and I only have my YouTube linked. So it drives them right there. It's not like they're going to come like crazy, but you will, like the higher amount of traffic you get, you will get a nice portion of them. So I'd say have some type of DM funnel set up for Instagram and drive them to your Instagram page. And then once you get the link on there, then you can have a landing page and a ClickFunnels site or whatever set up that you can just funnel them through. But I do think that if you're putting out videos that are to your audience and you're using your analytics, you can target the correct people and you will drive people that will end up being leads for you. I've had tons of people hit me up on Instagram. And I think, honestly, Instagram might have been when I started my funnel, because I didn't have a website for myself linked. It was just my podcast, which was getting subscribers off of this. But they would hit me up on Instagram and just DM me. Like, I'll see a whole bunch of those requests, and then it would always be someone from TikTok, like, hey, I saw your TikTok. Just wanted to connect or whatever. So yeah, you'll definitely start to drive a lot of traffic. So I would probably recommend having your Instagram tagged and maybe a call to action saying, follow me on Instagram, or, even once you get a link, putting the link to your Instagram on there. But I do think it can be super helpful, depending on what your goals are. Yeah, and I think that kind of brings me to a wrap on that. I appreciate everyone for sticking around and listening. I think I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I see some questions. What are the most important analytics you need to pay attention to? So yeah, good question. Like I was saying, let me go back to that slide and I can kind of point them out. So I would probably say, if I had to pick, I would go by watch time and the follower activity. I think that follower activity, because you need to know when to post, you need to know when your followers are on, especially in the beginning. Like right now, my account's kind of at the point where I don't really have to really depend on followers. But when I started, I was kind of focused on, you need to focus on the followers you have and not just trying to get a whole bunch of new audience. So I would focus on the follower activity and also your trending posts. I think those are the two most important, because with those two, you can see which videos are doing really well, so you can make more of it. And then if you come over to your analytics on here and your follower activity, you can find out when you need to post that content. So I think those are the best two. Let's see. Should your profile be strictly to generate business, or should you add personal fun posts as well? That's all up to you. I've seen a lot of people actually have separate profiles. Like there's one person that does social media marketing. She has like her business page, and then she also has like a comedy page where she just jokes around and stuff like that. So it depends on you. I think in my opinion, you should kind of keep your channel or your page strictly down to what like what you do and like what your goal is business wise, if you're going for that. And you can always make a separate page for like fun stuff. But I don't mind. I don't think it's a big deal to like have a little fun, but also teach people. I think that's the best combination, is when you have both. Like you're having fun, but then you're also like educating people, because then you're tackling entertainment and education, which people love that. Does TikTok pay you directly for viral content? So Macy, not yet. I think so. I was a part of like a creative fund on there that they reached out to a bunch of creators to start doing like educational content, and they paid us an ad spend. So they gave us like $1,000 of ads on TikTok to just promote our own content. So I don't think they pay money like directly yet. There are some third-party companies that do like giveaways and stuff, and I've been contacted by brands to like do like a video for them or whatever. And they'll either give me a coupon or something like that, like to buy a bunch of stuff, or they'll like actually pay me. But that's like the only way. But they do have like a creator backend where agencies and people can find influencers to work with. So they kind of bridge the gap, at least. So they don't directly pay you, but you can get paid on TikTok. What's the best way to target a specific niche? That's a good question. I would say if you're trying to target a specific niche, you just got to make videos talking to that specific area. You can use hashtags. They're not as influential or like as great on TikTok as they are on Instagram. So like not everyone's using hashtags to find things like they are on Instagram. I use hashtags. I just use them because I'm scared to not use them, because I'm like, maybe they did good, maybe they didn't. So I keep them on there, but there's no way to tell what hashtags are doing well. So I think that's probably your best bet, is just like targeting those hashtags. You put like 5 of them maybe, and then just make videos like targeting that, anything to do with that certain area or niche. So does the time of day you post matter? Yeah, so if you pay attention to that, like I don't think it's like I said, like Instagram, I don't think it's as important as what time because things can blow up whenever. But I would try to come up with a consistent time to post, based off of those analytics that I showed earlier or right here, because if you're posting the same time, at least your followers will start to get like know when you're going to post, and then they can always, if they're on the app at that time, which they typically probably are, if the analytics are saying they are, they'll be able to see your stuff. And then, you always want to work on your current followers before focusing on like trying to get a million. Like that'll come, but if you just keep working on the ones you have, it'll all fall in place. See, as an agency owner, if your client wants you to get their brand on TikTok yet they are not comfortable being on camera, what do you do? That's a hard one. I was just thinking about that the other day because me and my partner, like he's not very camera savvy either, so I would be mostly doing camera stuff. Um, I would say you might have to like acclimate them to it and like slowly kind of do some videos here and there, kind of just show them the benefits. I feel like if they really want to do it and you present the benefits to them enough, they will do it. At least start off and get on there. But it can be hard, and that's kind of the rough part. Is like any type of video content is not everyone's great for the camera. Same thing with podcasts, not everyone's great with audio. So yeah, it's just gonna have to be you kind of explaining benefits and making sure that they understand like what's at stake and like what they can really get from it. And if it's a big enough deal for them, they'll do it. Do you see more success with millennials or Gen Zs with using TikToks for lead generation? I think Gen Z got it down. They're really good on there. Like not just the funny stuff, like the actual educational stuff too. Millennials are good. Like I'm a millennial, we're pretty good, but I think Gen Z like has it on lock because they have, you know, even though for business I wouldn't be doing the dancing and stuff like that, but I know like Charlie D'Amelio, like there are people in there who are young Gen Zs that are making money from TikTok, and I guess that's their business. So I think Gen Z probably, and they're the future too. So I think that's like it's a Gen Z platform. So if you're targeting Gen Z, it can be great to go for them if you're trying to get them for your business and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyone else have any questions?
I actually have a few questions. I know that you post tips and tricks on Instagram as well. What would you say is like your biggest difference when creating content for each platform?
That's a good one. I think it's like the amount of effort, honestly. That's like the biggest drastic difference. I literally probably put like when I was posting daily, which I need to get back to doing, I'm putting like maybe 5 minutes tops a day into TikTok. When it comes to Instagram, I'm sitting there coming up with hashtag sets and like engaging with everyone. I don't do much engagement on TikTok either. I don't reach out much. I probably should, but like you can do well without like, killing your time on TikTok. It could just take, a few hours of research. And then just once you understand it, you start putting content out, you're good to go. With Instagram and stuff, like it takes forever for their algorithm to even know you exist.
And do you think that the TikTok algorithm will continue to advance to the point where it's like Instagram and it's harder to become viral?
Yeah, so the main reason why Instagram and those other platforms, why it's so hard for organic growth to do well is because of ads. It's literally, if they don't have that, like we're going to make it hard for you to grow organically. That's the incentive for you to buy ads, and that's the reason they do it. TikTok doesn't really have ads. They're starting to introduce them now. So I'm gonna say yes, because I don't put it past any company to like, they want to make money, they're gonna take ads, and the only way they can like take ads and give them a benefit is by like kind of holding down the organic growth. So yeah, I do see the future kind of going in that direction, which is why I try to urge everyone to like hurry up, get on there now while it's still pretty simple, and you can get at least something out of it and have like a base. Because if you were on Instagram when it first started, you're gonna keep growing. Like you didn't have to start over again. Like once you do it, it's done.
Right. And speaking of the future of TikTok, we just had a question here. You and I were kind of talking about this before we went live. Are you concerned at all about the potential blocking of TikTok in the US?
Yeah, man. So I when I first heard of the news of this, I was like had like a mini breakdown. I was like, man, this is crazy. Like the one time I find a platform that like I could do well on, and like of course this happened. um, I always like to assume the worst, just because like you're best preparing for the worst because you might as well just in case. So at this point in my head, I'm like, you know what? Let me make sure all my other platforms are okay, and let me not just invest all of my time into TikTok, and make sure I have other things set and my own website and like stuff that people can't have any control over. And this is why I try to urge people to have like a website, because like stuff like this can happen to any platform. Like Facebook could get shut down anytime, and then if that was like your main source of traffic and stuff, you're done. But if you have your own website, your own source of information, no one can take that. So yeah, I think like they already banned it in India. So I think I'm not sure. Like I've heard different things, like it's all rumors and things like that. But like I was saying, I would just prepare like, hey, if it does get banned, am I gonna be okay? And then also like even more of a driver to hurry up, get on TikTok, make something out of it, and then start driving your traffic off of TikTok. That's why I try to do this like whole thing is like, drive your traffic to Instagram or something like that, or once you can, like your personal website.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just if anyone else has any more questions, please send
Yeah.
them in. But kind of just going off what you just said, you run an Instagram account where you're very active. You have a TikTok. You have a podcast. You are a co-founder of an agency. How do you find all the time to like continuously create new concept ideas and make sure your content is competitive?
That's a good question. I actually try to do as many templates as possible. Like that's been like my life is like come up with some type of like I think systems and templates like because I could just be like, oh, it's time management, but I feel like everyone says that it's time management will be what it is. I think that if you just try and find the easiest way to repeat something, there's nothing that can stop it, because like we'll sit there, and for Instagram, like I just make a bunch of different templates. Like for my agency, I've made a ton of templates, and we just rotate them depending on what we are trying to feel or like aim at that day. But yeah, it just depends on your goals, but like try and like create processes for things, and like trying to schedule content a week in advance and stuff like that. And you can do that on TikTok too. You can post things as like private, and then you can just unlock it, and then it's out. So you can film things in advance and put them on there just to hold. And yeah, just trying to get stuff done in one day for a whole week is like what I try to aim for. But then creating templates and like having all your content for the week already set.
Okay, I think that's some great advice. Yeah. We had a question from Rebecca, and I just kind of wanted to add on to that.
Mm-hmm.
So, as an agency owner, would you recommend your clients to be on TikTok? Is that something that you typically offer them or suggest to them?
So not as of yet. I'm still trying to find a way, because I've been looking for like a TikTok analytics platform, because like Instagram has like Iconosquare, and I use one called Flick with like analytics and scheduling and stuff like that. And maybe not necessarily scheduling, but I would like to find a platform with like reporting and analytics, so like I can email them reports and stuff like that, because it's kind of weird just having just like the analytics inside of TikTok for them to go off of. So looking for something more robust. I would consider doing that though, just because like I know it's a niche that like not a lot of people offer, is like TikTok marketing. Like that's probably good for SEO, because I don't think a lot of people talk about it when it comes to like tips and stuff like that blog wise. But yeah, I think it's a smart move to add that into your set. Like everyone does Instagram marketing, everyone does Twitter. A lot of people do LinkedIn. I feel like TikTok might be the one that I don't see very often offered by agencies. And if you know how to do video content, like you have a video editor or something like that, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think especially for me, I was one of the people who voted no, that I'm not currently on TikTok. But I think that like diversifying the social platforms that you're on, and I mean, Instagram was nothing until now it's everything, right?
Exactly.
So I think that TikTok, if it doesn't get banned, is going to really be huge in the future.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, man.
Okay, awesome. Well, I think that's all the questions that we have. Thank you so much, Chris, for joining us for,
thank you for having me.
I said I'm not on TikTok, but I learned a lot about TikTok today. It's kind of like, oh, wow, should I sign up after this?
Do it, man.
TikTok, be sure to follow Chris, and you can follow him on Instagram, connect with him on Communo. We do have quite a few Communo members on the call today, but if you want to join Communo, we just have a little offer here that will take you to sign up for our free account. So go ahead and do that if you're interested. Other than that, be sure to connect with Chris.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, everyone have a great day. Stay safe and healthy, and connect with us if you have any questions.